Bette Davis, a name synonymous with defiance, talent, and unparalleled courage in the face of Hollywood's daunting studio system. Her story isn't just about glamour and fame, it's a saga of bold resistance and groundbreaking change. In the 1930s, when actors were bound by ironclad contracts, Davis stood up against the giants of Hollywood, challenging the very system that threatened her artistic freedom. This wasn't just a fight for her career, it's a battle for the rights of actors everywhere. Davis's courage paved the way for monumental changes in Hollywood, marking a turning point in the industry. As we delve into the enthralling tale of Bette Davis, we uncover not just a story of a Hollywood legend, but the narrative of a woman whose bravery reshaped an entire industry, leaving a legacy that continues to inspire actors and audiences alike. Let's turn back the clocks to the early 1900s, to the beginnings of a legend. Bette Davis, born Ruth Elizabeth Davis in 1908, started her journey in Lowell, Massachusetts. But who was Bette before the fame, the accolades, and the bold stand against Hollywood's giants? Driven by a fiery passion for acting, Davis moved to New York City in the 1920s, determined to make her mark. It wasn't easy. The path was strewn with challenges and rejections. But did she give up? Not Bette Davis. In 1931, her perseverance paid off. Hollywood called and Davis answered. Her debut film, Bad Sister, wasn't a hit, but did that deter her? No. Davis was just warming up, ready to show the world her mettle. By the mid-1930s, Davis had hit her stride, delivering performances that captivated audiences. But even as her star rose, she saw the shackles of the studio system binding her and her fellow actors. Was this the cost of fame? Imagine for a moment reaching for your dreams, only to find them laced with constraints. That was Davis's reality, but she wasn't one to accept the status quo. A storm was brewing, one that would shake the foundations of Hollywood. Imagine a Hollywood where studios were kings, reigning supreme over every aspect of the actor's career. Welcome to the 1930s studio system, a world where contracts weren't just agreements, they were chains. And in this realm, Warner Brothers was a titan, a giant holding the fates of stars like Bette Davis in its grasp. Picture this. You're a rising star, but your every move on and off the screen is controlled. For Bette Davis, this wasn't just a scenario, it was her reality. The more she shone, the tighter the grip became. But Bette wasn't one to be caged. In 1936, Davis did the unthinkable. She took Warner Brothers to court. Why? To break free from the shackles of a system that stifled her artistic spirit. It was David versus Goliath. But who was David? And who was Goliath in this Hollywood tale? Was Bette Davis just a rebellious star? Or was she a visionary, fighting for a future where actors had a say in their careers? This battle wasn't just about one contract or one actress. It was a fight for the soul of Hollywood. 1936, the year Bette Davis took a stand that would echo through Hollywood history. Imagine stepping into a courtroom, not as an actress, but as David challenging Goliath. Davis versus Warner Brothers, a legal showdown that wasn't just about contracts, it was about freedom. Here's the crux. Davis argued that her contract was too restrictive, chaining her to roles that didn't challenge her as an artist. Warner Brothers, on the other hand, saw it as a straightforward breach of contract. But was it really that simple? The trial was a spectacle, attracting attention far beyond Hollywood. Every day in court was a scene straight out of a drama. But for Davis, this was real life. The verdict? It didn't go in her favor. But the story doesn't end there. Though she lost the battle, Davis sparked a war for actors' rights. Post-trial, Warner Brothers subtly began offering better roles and more freedom. Was this a coincidence, or had Davis's defiance begun to reshape Hollywood? Though the gavel struck against her, Bette Davis's stand in 1936 sent ripples through Hollywood. Ripples that became waves of change. One actress's courage began cracking the once impenetrable walls of the studio system. In the years following Davis's lawsuit, actors found their voices, their power. The studio system, once unyielding, began to bend, offering more freedom and better roles. Coincidence? I think not. This was the Bette Davis effect. In the wake of Bette Davis's groundbreaking legal challenge, the tides began to shift in Hollywood. But what exactly changed? let's delve into the tangible impacts of Davis's defiance and how her courage set a precedent for those who followed. Post Davis's lawsuit, a subtle yet significant shift occurred. Actors, once at the mercy of studios, started to find their voice. Olivia de Havilland, another Warner Brothers star, took up the mantle in 1943, successfully changing the studio in court and leading to the de Havilland Law, a landmark in actor freedom. The de Havilland Law altered the very fabric of Hollywood contracts, limiting their duration and giving actors unprecedented leverage. This was a direct ripple effect of Davis's battle, paving the way for future stars to shape their destinies. Moreover, the landscape for actresses began to evolve. Stars like Marilyn Monroe and Elizabeth Taylor in later years negotiated contracts that would have been unthinkable before Davis's stand. They had more say in their roles, salaries, and even production choices. Bette Davis's legacy isn't just in her films. It's etched in the very freedoms that actors and actresses enjoy today. Her battle was for more than herself. It was a fight for the future of every star who ever dreamed of Hollywood. Davis's legacy goes beyond her iconic roles. She rewrote the script for Hollywood itself. From a star in the golden age to a trailblazer for actors' rights, Davis's defiance reshaped an industry and inspired generations to come. As we circle back to our opening hook, remember the image of Davis challenging a Goliath? Her story isn't just one of talent and success, it's a narrative of bravery, a testament to fighting for what's right, even against towering odds. As we close the curtain on the remarkable story of Bette Davis, let's remember the key beats of her symphony. A young woman from Massachusetts who became a Hollywood icon, a daring spirit who challenged the Goliath of the studio system, and a legacy that forever altered the landscape of cinema. Bette Davis wasn't just an actress, she was a catalyst for change. Her battle against Warner Brothers wasn't a mere legal tiff, it was a fight for artistic freedom and dignity. Her legacy? A Hollywood where creativity breathes more freely, where actors wield the pen of their own stories. From the spark of her defiant gaze to the enduring echo of her talent, Bette Davis's story is one for the ages, a tale of courage, tenacity, and the relentless pursuit of justice in the face of overwhelming odds. And that is the incredible saga of Bette Davis and her battle against the studio system. If you're inspired by stories of courage and transformation, why not check out our video on how abusive social standards destroyed women in the 50s next? Their story is just as captivating. Remember, every star has a story waiting to be told. Until next time, keep those reels rolling.